Hiya, I hope you're okay. Today I'm going to show you this makeup look from scratch. I've used a powder foundation today, so if you want a powder recommendation that still feels nice and luminous, I think you're going to like this one. I've used some of Jamie Genevieve's new eye wands, they're really lovely, so I hope you enjoy. As always, there's a full list of everything I've used in the caption of this video, so click to make it full screen. The title will come up along the top, click the arrow and everything will drop down. But that said, feel free to use these tips and tricks with anything you've already got in your makeup bag. Okay, to mix things up a bit today, I'm going to go in with a powder foundation. Now, Kat, you asked me for a powder foundation ages ago. And then Jan, this week, you'd asked me for which IT Cosmetics foundation would I recommend for lasting well if you're wearing a wig. And I think that ultimately, if you're using a cream and set it with powder, that's going to be a great option. But using a powder as the whole foundation is going to give you probably the most reliable wear. Now, IT Cosmetics do two celebration foundations, they're called. This is the original finish and this is an illuminating finish. I'm going to show you the illuminating one because, as you know, I tend to wear a lot of creams, but I think if you did want the longevity and the wear of a powder, but you like the luminosity of a cream, you'll really enjoy this one. I'm going to go in with a PC02 to apply this. And what I'm doing first is picking up the product and then I'm just going to really gently buff this into the skin. Now, one thing I will tell you about Celebration Foundation, it's actually the fullest coverage of anything at IT Cosmetics. It's even more full coverage than the CC cream. However, this is very, very buildable. So when you're first buffing it on, you can almost think, is anything happening? Is anything going on? But actually, before you know it, you've built a really, really full coverage. So I'm going to take this kind of over half of the face to show you. And another thing I would say, personally, because I'm always conscious that I still want a matte foundation to look fresh on my skin, I think a lot of us enjoy the thought of, you know, the wearing power of a matte, but we don't want it to look too heavy. That's why I've gone on with a slightly smaller brush, because this tiny little brush, I can pack loads over those areas of redness like I always tend to do, and then just take a softer layer everywhere else. But would you ever believe that was a powder? Like, look how luminous it is. So Jan, for you, because this is, you know, a very lovely velvety full cover powder, this is going to give you a really reliable wear, but also it doesn't necessarily need to look heavy. You get a lovely glow from the skin. Do you know what? It's been a while since I wore this and I absolutely love it. I always wear this. What happens if we have QVC shows? During the show, for anyone that doesn't know what QVC is, it's like a shopping channel and IT Cosmetics is on there and I present the IT Cosmetics segments. And basically, I start with no makeup. It's just like doing a video here, really. And you just kind of build up as you go along, because every time we're talking about a product, I will show how it works and what to do and all of the rest of it. But anyway, the point I'm going to make is, because I always tend to use creams, whenever we've had a show with Celebration Foundation, Illumination, I mean, it is a very long name, but I'm always like, why haven't I been wearing this? It's so nice. And it really is. Like, if you're someone that maybe has an oily skin or wants your makeup to last, but you still want a glow, this is for you. And actually, this is a really good point. I was going to suggest this for you as well, Marion. You had said to me, have I got tips or suggestions for someone experiencing hot flushes? And what I would say is use a nice hydrating powder like this one. And then, if possible, you know, we've all been there, you're incredibly hot, you've got kind of sweat around here and anywhere. When you're wanting to pat that off, just press tissue or a cloth or whatever it is that you have to hand, press it on rather than wiping the damp off. And that way you can remove that moisture and that sweat without disrupting the makeup. But there we go, that's your powder foundation. I really hope you like that one. Now, Jan, I would also say try and get a colour match as close to the colour of your skin. And then in the exact area where that wig is going to touch the skin, try and use as little product as possible. And ideally, what we're going to get is a lovely finish where you have the majority of the makeup towards the centre of the face. You could ease off the application towards the hairline. And then if it's a nice soft blend, it won't be noticeable, but it means that you've got less product on the actual line of the wig. And then also, just to mention, whether it's for you or for somebody else, Lisa Potter Dixon has got a brilliant new website. I think it's called The C Word. I'll get the exact name and I'll write it in the caption here. But it's a resource of lots of products, skincare, makeup, things like that are safe to use during treatment or when you're recovering. So that's a really good one if you want some suggestions of things that are going to work well. Now, I'm going to do a bit of a chocolatey, smoky eye today. Maria, you wanted to see something really smoky, nice brown liner. And I've got Jamie Genevieve's new Vieve Wands that I've been meaning to give a go. So let's do it. What I will actually do first, I'm going to do the brown liner first of all, because I want to be able to kind of pull at the eye area and get right in there to get a nice dark line. And then I don't want to be pulling that lid after I've put my eyeshadow on. This is the Peaches and Cream liner in Memphis. And can I just say, if you're looking for, I mean, Peaches in general is just, you cannot go wrong. But the liners are so creamy, whether it's the lip liners or the eyeliners, they will go on really densely pigmented and they're not going to scratch or irritate. You're going to love them. And they're very affordable as well. Okay, I'm going to go in with the colour Mahogany. And what I think I'm going to do is take it all over the lid one at a time and buff it out straight away so that it doesn't have a chance to dry on me before I've blended it. And I'm going to buff that out with a little PC11. Do you know what this has hopefully demonstrated quite well? I've done a little Reels video the other day about different colours that will make each eye colour pop. And I was saying that blue really makes brown pop, but by the same logic, brown will make blue pop. And I know this is more of a plummy brown, but I can really see already that that has just popped my eyes out. Okay, I'm going to do the same on the other side. And to be honest, I'm a bit gutted, but my eyes are watering today. I think it's just hay fever. So I'm not going to take it through the underneath, because that will just be a ball ache through the day because they're, you know, not playing ball with me today. I mean, look at that. That was so easy to blend. I'm just going to go back in and rebuild. Like, what I want is a really dense wash of colour on the lid that then softens through the socket. I mean, would we expect anything less from Jamie? I love that. I was going to mess about and use a few of them, but sometimes something really simple is really effective. So I'm going to leave it at that. Now, going to warm everything up. My friend Kate said to me the other day, she said, isn't it funny, like when you have things for ages, you almost forget how fab they are. And she said, do you know what? I'm back into my Laguna and I just love it. And I thought, yeah, this is NARS Laguna, one of the best bronzers you'll use. Okay, I'm going to go in with a little touch of MAC blusher in Melba. This is a completely matte peachy blusher. And Gemma, you had asked me this week for some nice matte blush suggestions. And I'd say either MAC or NARS have a really great selection of blushes with different finishes. So whether you wanted matte or, you know, shimmery, a bit more iridescent, they've really got a little bit of everything. Now, because I've gone a bit warmer with the bronzer, I don't think this is showing up as strongly, but I feel like it's one of those things that once I'm not in this light, it will be really noticeable. So if I keep hammering it on now, I'm going to go into the kitchen and really notice it. Do you know what I mean? So I'm going to do a nice little soft wash of it. I can see it a bit more now in real life. I'm not sure if it's showing on the camera. I'm going to take the tiniest bit of that just to tie in to those eyes. I'm also just gonna, can you see where that is a bit of a harsher line? We'll live, won't we? No one's gonna come to any harm that my eyeshadow isn't absolutely perfect today. Okay, I'm going to go in with the Peaches Feline lip liner. And a tiny bit of Peaches gloss in Ladybird. There we go, all done. Do you know what? The more I look at it, I absolutely love that mahogany wand, because do you know what's nice about it? It's not quite brown, it's not quite plum, it's just somewhere in the middle. Absolutely love it. I'll have another play with some of those colours this week too. But thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed, and if you've got any questions about anything, please feel free to let me know in the comments. And also if there's anything you want to see a video on, let me know as well and I'll get to it. Thanks for watching. I'll chat to you soon.